Hey guys, I'm Adriana Natali and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to deal with rejection in your acting career. It's an inevitable part of the process, and I guarantee you every successful actor out there has dealt with it at one point or another in their career. And in this video, I'm going to give you examples of just a few actors and their stories about rejection and failure. I'm also then going to give you some tips and tools that you can use in your own career to help you overcome the obstacles and have your own successful acting career. So let's get started. So I think it's important to start off by having some perspective of some realistic expectations for your acting career. There's a great article in Backstage from back in October 2010 of an agent talking about his experience working with actors and their booking rates. I also represent a lot of attractive young people who are just starting out. They're also in the single most competitive category in the business. The common booking ratio for them would be more like 1 out of 20. That means they are failing their auditions 99.95% of the time. And that's normal and average. So it's important to understand when you're in this career that you're going to face a lot of failures and a lot of rejections, and that's just a normal part of the process. It's the actors who keep going and who keep persisting that are the ones who are successful. For example, Mark Ruffalo. He has talked many times in public interviews about how it's been mythologized now, but it started with about 600 auditions without success. There's only so much you can control as the actor, and once you get into the casting room, it becomes out of your hands. There's so many reasons why you might not get booked, very few of which might actually deal with your talent. For example, you could be too old, too young, too short, too tall, too pretty, not pretty enough, look too much like the other characters, look not enough like the other characters. You could have the wrong hairstyle, the wrong cut, the wrong color, and the list goes on and on. Another actress, Winona Ryder, in an interview for Interview magazine in May 2013, talked about a particular experience she remembered where, I remember one time in particular, I was in the middle of auditioning and I was mid-sentence when the casting director said, "Listen kid, you should not be an actress, you're not pretty enough. You should go back to wherever you came from and you should go to school. You don't have it." And it's not just not booking roles that actors have to deal with rejection and failure, but oftentimes actors are recast. For example, Kerry Washington. Before Scandal, I was actually cast in 2 other pilots. Both went to series, but I was fired and recast. For both, it was because they wanted me to sound more girlfriend, more like hood, more urban. So you can't expect it to be an easy career path. But the one thing that all these successful actors have in common is that they persevered. They kept going. When other people stopped, they were still working on their craft, they were still auditioning, and eventually their time came. So let's switch gears and talk about some ways that you can handle the realities of the rejection and failure that you're about to come across along your career path. The first thing that you're going to want to remind yourself is that it's 100% natural to face lots and lots of rejection as an actor. I just talked about a bunch of actors who face really immense rejection and failures, yet they persevered when others didn't, and that's part of the reason why they are the successful actors that we know today. Another thing you want to remind yourself is that the rejection and failure is not a reflection of you, of your self-worth, or of even your talent. You could have been the most talented actor in the room, but they went with someone else because they wanted a different look, or maybe they had a connection with a producer or a director, or any number of reasons why. The truth is, most of the time, you're not going to know why you didn't get cast. And it's really easy to go down the rabbit hole of I'm not good enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm never going to make it. What sets the successful actors apart from the non-successful actors are the successful actors don't see the failures as a roadblock or a reflection of themselves. They see it as a part of the process and they continue to push forward. You also want to practice gratitude during your career. It's so easy to focus on the things that you don't have that it can really lead you to being unhappy because you get locked in these thoughts of what you want, what you don't have, what there's a lack of in your career. And those can be really hard, depressing thoughts to sit with and to deal with all the time. Instead, try practicing gratitude for what you do have as just a way to keep yourself in a healthier mental state so that you can continue to persevere throughout your career. So for example, if you have an audition, be thankful for even having the audition. Be thankful for your ability to even go to the audition. 25% of actors aren't even making it to their audition. So the fact that you went and you tried is a win and a step along the path. Be thankful for any time you spend practicing your craft, because that's another step along your career of building your craft and building your talent. Anytime you complete a class, that's another opportunity to be grateful and thankful of another aspect of your career. So take time to practice gratitude for what you have accomplished in your career. It's gonna make your life a lot easier and your mental state a lot easier to handle than constantly focusing on the negative. And finally, you want to focus on the things that you can control. There's so many things that are out of our hands as an actor when it comes to getting booked on a job, whether that show gets picked up or canceled, or you get recast, or maybe the show's not even good. None of that you can control, and it can get really deflating if you always focus on the things that you can't control. Instead, try focusing on the things that you can. One of the things that you can control is your craft. Spend time working on your craft. Create a routine of different practices that you work on to better your craft. Sign up for more classes. Create a group of fellow actors that you meet once a week with that you go and practice with. Or maybe you just meet to talk about your goals and about how you're working on achieving these goals. These are all really helpful practices that you can create that will further your craft and that are something you can consistently focus on. Another great way to focus your time and energy as an actor is by creating your own content. So many actors have become really successful by creating their own web series, or maybe they create their own stand-up routine. Anything that gets you using your creativity. There's so many ways to share it on the world, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whether it's renting out a theater and putting on your own production of your own one-man or one-woman show. There's so many things you can do. Why not create the time and the focus to create your own content? It can really just create an entire career for yourself. That's all my tips on how to deal with rejection and failure on your career path. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.